All right. It's Thursday, April 11th. If you're a part of the replay gang, I do appreciate you coming by and checking this out. I would appreciate it if you hook me up with a like. For those watching live, how you doing this morning? How you doing? So, short day at the gym today. Not particularly happy. Not particularly happy with what I had to do today, but I had to do it. All right. So you see the title of the stream. Listen to your body. Look at the description. You'll get added context. So it basically goes like this, people. Before I left for London, I was doing my heavy row work, and things were going really well. I had a couple of uncomfortable repetitions. Stad is here. Thank you so much. Thank you. I had a couple of uncomfortable repetitions, and doing the deep row, and um, so there's the deep row. I had a couple of repetitions that maybe I just wasn't focused as much as I should have been, but it caused a little bit of discomfort in my back. Hey, what's up? Is that Kais Ben Brahim? How you doing? I had a couple of reps that were uncomfortable, and I kind of fixed the movement, but you know, a little bit of a strain was there, and yes, Dad. People don't pay attention. You have to basically, as a driver, protect the pedestrian from themselves. Anyway, so yeah, and then I went to London, and I was like really like working off of adrenaline. Being in a new environment, it was very exciting. I was very happy to be there, very happy to train there, and um, it was cool. I flew back on Monday, back to New York, and yep, I'm on the old side, guys. Ben Brahim, I'm on the older side, definitely. Definitely on the other side of the halfway point of life. Well, if I'm lucky, and maybe I'm not approaching it yet, but definitely somewhere around the halfway point. Anyway, I came home, and on Monday, and I got my work done. On Tuesday, I had a bad day, y'all. I told you guys how much I struggled with the heavy leg press, especially since the weight did not match up to the weight that I was doing in London. The plates in England don't weigh the same. They're lighter. They're lighter in London, and I suspect in other places in Europe than here in the United States. So it did kind of throw off my neurological sense of how much weight I'm pushing. And so it made for a very difficult day. Didn't have a lot of energy. I went to go do my bench press, my inclined Smith machine press. I went to do some dumbbell, flat bench press, and it was a huge slog. Maybe I'm getting mentally tired too, but woke up with some discomfort again in kind of like toward the back, toward my side. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? That's my body talking to me. You know what? As much as I want to keep going hard week after week after week, when your body starts telling you that, you're not recovering the way you're supposed to, the energy is not there, the attention to detail when you're working is not there, you're going to have to take some time, reduce the intensity roughly by half, for however many sessions you need. I suspect I'll probably need 5 to 7 days of lower intensity work, and it just so happens that this is just what it is. Those two false reps did cost me, no doubt. It was not, I can't, that discomfort really did kind of take me out of my element, but I'm not giving up. I will tell you, a lot of my motivation, I felt very demotivated, did not feel good trying to get up this morning, even knowing that I was going to be working at half capacity. It still didn't provide a lot of solace. It didn't provide a lot of relief. And today I have to hit my row, and I'll do that at half capacity today as well, to get my second workout of the day in. But it was very, very uncomfortable, to have to make that decision, because I've been making a lot of gains. My physique has changed for the better in ways I did not expect, in this short period of time since my father died. And so, my father died January 26th, and here we are, April. That's 2.5 months ago. My physique 2.5 months ago to now, very, very different. So obviously I want to keep it going, but it's very, very difficult. Very, very, very difficult to keep that intensity up, even though I really want to. Sir Fernando, the Fondue King, how you doing? This AM, I struggled too, got my workout done, and feel slightly better. Yeah, I have to agree with you there too, man. Like, I'm not happy that I was forced to do the deload. However, it was for the better. I had So for those that don't know, I was working on the leg press at 365 pounds, full range of motion, slow tempo. So I could probably do 5 plates if I did them like everybody else. But I take the rack, I take the platform all the way down, my knees past my chest. And I work these reps very slowly. And um, I go very deep. And so at 365 is very heavy to go that slow, and with that type of range of motion. I was at 365. I hit six. No, I had 5 repetitions. I had 5 sets of 5 for a total of 25 repetitions. And then I went to London, and I learned the hard way that our 45-pound plates and their 20-kilo plates are off by a full pound. So if you're working at 3 whole plates, you're off by 6 pounds. So it was 6 pounds lighter at 3 plates. And then their middle-sized plate is 10 kilos. Ours is 25 pounds. So for each plate, their plate is 3 pounds lighter. So I was down 12 pounds from what I was normally used to working with. And so when I came back here, it was much, much, much more difficult when I went to work on Tuesday. much more difficult. And I added a rep in addition to that as well. Well, I didn't add a rep. I went when I was there in London. I had 2 heavy leg days, and so I added a rep to go to 5 sets of 6, and then added another rep on the second session while I was out there to 5 sets of 7. Well, I wanted to, hit 5 sets of 7, but at the weight that I was supposed to be working at to begin with, which was 365, not 353. So after that, like no matter how well I position myself in the leg press machine, it did not matter. I still had that lingering discomfort. So I kind of, like I said, I had to listen to my body. My chest press work was subpar. I had planned to do 4 sets of 10 on the incline Smith machine chest press. I was supposed to do 4 sets of 10. I ended up doing 4 sets of 8 and myo repping on the last 2 sets. Clearly weaker than I thought I was going to be. I hit 4 sets of 10 on the dumbbell chest press with the 75s, which is also below my previous capacity. And I worked at a pretty high capacity while I was in London. So looking at all of the factors, lack of motivation, lack of consistent force production, even though my movement patterns were good for the most part, having my movement pattern be not good for 1 rep really fucking cost me. It cost me a lot. So instead of making things worse, I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead, do the deload. Just do the deload. That's it. Right? Like, there's no shame in reducing the sets, reps, and resistance level. Get my body, back to feeling normal again. Making sure that I'm lifting pain-free, because when you lift while you're in pain, your movement patterns will change. It's almost guaranteed to change. Sir Fernando says that it's always for the better. In my last stage of recovery from patellar tendon tear, the rehab workouts are hard, but it's got to be done. Absolutely. Hey, how you doing, Oscar? Thank you for coming by. Please hit the like button, guys, if you are enjoying the discourse here. I'd appreciate it. So today on the leg press, instead of doing the 365, for the because my original plan was to go to 365 for 8 repetitions, I like to add 1 rep per set. But I had to do the deload. So what I did was I did 5 sets of 5 at 185. So I essentially cut the volume in half at the resistance level. I cut the resistance level in half. I only did 1 warm-up set, so I cut the warm-up sets down by 2/3. But then I kept the baseline of 5 sets of 5, and then I just did 4 sets of, I think I did 4 sets of 6 at 70 pounds on the leg curl today. And then later on today, after I eat, also I'm not on any stimulants either. No stimulants, no pre-workouts on deload weeks. So no caffeine, none of that. Cold turkey on pre-workout powder. until I go back to working weights, working sets, working volume. It is a blow to the ego because obviously I want to continue to keep working so that I can, get stronger and bigger. Um, but, you know, I can only really do what my body will allow me to do so that I can continue to keep doing this. I've seen a lot of people kind of, Ronnie Coleman is famous for his work ethic, but he's had like 30 surgeries and he can't walk anymore. He says he doesn't regret it, but, he was 8-time Mr. Olympia. I'm 0-time Olympia. There's no reason for me to run my body into the ground when I'm not going to be competing on stage, especially at my advanced age. So, just going to come right back at it and just make the effort to, keep pushing in the middle of next week. But I'm telling you guys, like the impatience sometimes of like, oh, I got to hit that next progress mark. I got to hit that next one because I can't get big if I'm not lifting heavier for more reps. But again, I've seen, as a matter of fact, I was approached by a guy in the gym. He was on the basketball court. He walks over to the weight area and he was like, dude, that last time you talked to me, you were right. And I was like, what was I right about? I talk to people in the gym all the time about safety. Well, I saw him bench pressing once, and I was trying to help him correct his motion so he didn't get hurt. And a lot of guys, they have that ego. And I'm like, listen, you're not going to get hurt on this particular rep, but you may get hurt on a particular rep down the line. He approaches me and says, yeah, I sprained my AC joint in my shoulder, and you were right, man. And I was just like, well, my goal is to help people before. Hey, thank you, sir, Fernando, the Fondue King. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I do most of my fitness talk on this channel, not on the podcast channel, but my podcast is in the description. For the first time, I actually fucking put it in the description. But anyway, I'm just, I talk to a lot of people in the gym and I try to explain to them, listen, I'm a professional. I'm not just some random guy giving unsolicited advice. I'm a professional giving unsolicited advice to keep you safe from yourself, to save you from yourself. And usually people get their egos, and some people you could tell that they're not happy, but they'll listen because they just want you to go away. And that was this guy. He was listening so I would go away, and I went away. But then for him to walk up to me and have the humility to be like, you know what? Actually, yeah, you were right. You know what I'm saying? Like I shake the man's hand, I acknowledge him, and I just say, hey, you don't actually have to hire me to train you. You could just ask me, go, asshole, go, because you're so important. Making $3.75 an hour, your time is worth so much more than mine. I hate these cab drivers. I hate them. I know hate is a strong word, but I have zero sympathy for anything that happens that doesn't go their way. I just have zero sympathy. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. Not sure if it's really worth getting into. I did record a couple of videos on the frauds in Florida. I think one of them has completed, the editing was completed. We need to design some thumbnails for those videos for the podcast channel over at TSP. But I'm just gonna kind of vibe with you guys for a couple of seconds about some new stuff that has come out, because the frauds in Florida, or I saw somebody in the comment section call them frickin' frack. That is hilarious. They're calling the woman who is saying, "Hey, you know, you bust all up inside my sugar walls." Pause. She's, and then this guy, Fernando, says, "I'm not a pro in any capacity, but I care about fitness and gearing up for adventure racing triathlon events." Oh, okay. Well, I could tell you that my co-host on the Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party over on TSP, my wife, we call her Mrs. Evil, we were just in London because she was running another marathon, her seventh marathon, and her eighth race of marathon distance or longer. She was out in Brighton, UK, to run that marathon. That's why we were out there. And she also wants to do either a biathlon or a triathlon. Obviously, she'd have to relearn how to swim. But that's really cool stuff. If you come over to TSP, especially when we're doing our Filthy Casual MMA Watch Party on Saturdays, you're more than welcome to bounce your thoughts on endurance training off her noggin. She loves talking about endurance training. So, in our family, we're a big fitness 1-2 punch. Anyway, back to the frauds in Florida. So they're saying that this woman is lying. And again, the attorney that they had on the show told Walter, the only two words that you should be saying about the situation are no and comment, as in no comment, as in I will not talk about this case as it will be litigated. The very next words out the man's mouth, Walter's mouth, was, "Oh, I should not have nutted in her. I should not have nutted in a 304. Come to find out, she's one of 5 women who might be pregnant with his child." She's lying, but then out of his own mouth, "Oh yeah, there's 4 other women. Oh, and yeah. Oh yeah, we were never together." So I just took out a sneak peek while I was in the gym. More information keeps coming out. We've got video footage of the so-called 304 that he was not in a relationship with, going out to dinner and buying his mother gifts, taking pictures with his mother. She produced an invoice for the infamous $30,000 bracelet that he claims he didn't buy. And she's like, "Well, he paid for half of it." And then you look, and then, the bracelet was paid for exactly half by one card, exactly half by the other card. And again, the second video that I recorded, I have to let you guys know, how is it so-called red pill to be out here trying to prove to guys that you treat women like garbage? Why is it necessary for you to prove your manhood by mistreating women or pretending that you don't treat them well, which I think is even weirder? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I run this podcast. No, I don't treat women with any respect. You're never going to catch me treating a woman well. What kind of fucking flex is that? 7th marathon, nice. Definitely enjoy a few long run events a year. Fondue King, if you're still in the chat, let me know what distances you run throughout the year. And also, if you catch Mrs. Eva on this stream or on the other channel, definitely let her know what you run. Um, I just don't, I again, like I'm very firmly in the men's advocate space. Uh, you know, the red pill is not about disrespecting women. It's about men understanding, or really, if you were to want to talk about it in a very broad sense, is people, both men and women in modern society, basically undoing programming that falsely uh, presents a reality that's fiction. That's People want you to believe in stuff that is not real. Your life as though shit that's fake is real. And when you stop living that way, that's red pill. That's all that is. And in the context of the dating market, we, men used to be boys who were told by all of society that girls are sugar, spice, and everything nice. And the reality is that's the blue pill. The red pill is that women are imperfect human beings just like men are. That's the red pill. And women are can be selfish just like anybody else, and can prioritize their own well-being even above those of other people, to a point that can harm other people. Women are capable of that too. And that's really all that is. That's all it is. So for Walter to be out here pretending as if he treats women like garbage so he could say, "Oh, I was gaming them." No, she was living in your house. She was hanging out with your mother. You don't bring 304s around your mom. Come on, man. He says, "Nah, most red pillars are wild. I agree on the men's advocacy, but most men are misinterpreting the red pill. I think you were spot on with the understanding of what the red pill truly." Yeah, that's and again, I get that a lot of men are going through red pill rage. I get it. I get it. I understand. But going to equally unreasonable uh, thought processes on the, swinging from one extreme to the other, still leaves you in misery. Period. I typically run 3 to 4 26.2 mile races a year, along with 10-mile kayak and 35-mile. Oh, you're the real deal. Oh, yeah. Now, I really wish she was awake, because if she was awake right now, she would be in the stream, basically chatting with you. I'm mad that she missed the stream, but she's still sleeping. Still will be asleep for the next 30 minutes. But man, that's really cool, dude. Uh, I lift. I'm not a runner. I lift. I lift to get big. So that's really that's really impressive, man. And I think she's going to run at least 3 marathons this year. She's going to run at least 3 marathons. Like I said, we just did Brighton in the UK. She's going to do the Berlin Marathon in Germany, and then right back here in New York. Um, right back here in New York for, I think, her third or fourth New York City Marathon. I think she's done 3 of those already. Yeah, she's done at least 3 New York City marathons already. I'm sub now, so I will be paying attention to. Yeah, yeah, that I really do appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. I'm usually on the drive home from the gym, basically doing an autopsy of what's going on in the gym. So I'll be right back here on this channel on Saturday morning, because it's going to be a deload, so I'm not going to be in the gym all day. And then we have the Filthy Casual MMA watch party in support of covering UFC 300 on Saturday. So again, guys, if you guys like MMA at all, definitely look in the description of this stream. Search up the TSP podcast as described in the description. And yeah, come check us out. You will not be disappointed. Okay, these guys are making a turn. Or they're not, and I can change lanes now. Okay. So yeah, and the thing is, I think that we've really reached a really sad point in our modern day era when men are out here pretending to treat women like garbage to protect some sort of reputation. That is something that should destroy your reputation. And even if it was a good thing to disrespect women and to treat them like trash, the fact that he doesn't actually do that makes him a hypocrite. It makes him a fraud. And I don't think that we should be bigging up those people at all. If you're going to be a piece of shit, or you're going to claim to be a piece of shit, live that shit through and through. I don't, this wishy-washy, nah, I'm not with it. So, yeah, people make me sick. And I'll say this again. The frauds in Florida do a massive disservice to the red pill movement. They do a massive disservice to the uh, endeavor of advocating for men. They are cancer to society. And when you think about what cancer actually is in the human body, is you actually have human cells growing incorrectly that sap energy from the rest of the body, spreads, and then eventually shuts down all of the vital organs and kills the organism that grows it. That is, they are cancer. These guys will take true statements, misrepresent them, claim to advocate for men while making our lives harder, to the point where a lot of these guys who want relationships now have a much lesser opportunity to get them because you were running your mouth talking about how much you care about these men as you are leading them down into the abyss of loneliness for the rest of their lives. Anyway, look for those videos to come out on TSP. There's 2 of them coming out from when I was in London. I got some other content coming for this channel and that one. But I do want to thank you guys